Okay, so product design cycle, the first thing we are going to discuss. So product design cycle is a cycle in which in order to design a product, in order to design a component, we just have to go through this concept. So first thing is concept. So while going to design a product, first we need is the requirement of the product, for what purpose we are going to create the product. So in that we have to just generate a concept about the functionality, about the working of that product. So first step, concept, and after generating a concept, after generating the rough sketches of that product, we have to convert that product into engineering design. As you have covered the engineering graphics subject in your engineering first year semester, so in that we create a 2D drafting in isometric views and section views and many other views with hands on drawing sheets. In softwares, we again do that work with 2D drafting and 3D modeling. Okay, so in 3D modeling software, we basically create a 3D model of the product that we are going to manufacture. So first step is concept. We generate rough sketches, we generate a rough functionality of the product, and after that we convert that rough sketch into engineering design, in which we check the functionality, we check the interferences in the assembly, we check the motion of the assembly, and after that we run the simulation on that product. Either it is according to the load, if we are designing a building, designing a product that is going to bear some load. So in that simulation we test the product is either able to bear the load or not, or we can test the thermal conductivities, thermal properties of the product. We can analyze aerodynamic properties of the product. After the simulation, if the product is capable of doing all the work, all the criteria we have applied on that, then we are going to uh, convert that product's drawings, or we are going to generate the drawings of that product. That is called engineering documentation. As you have seen many drawings, or I will show you after this video, after this slide, which type of drawings I'm talking about. So after the documentation, we create a visualization, we create a fully uh, fully applied material on that product, and we can see the product how it will be looked. Okay. So product design. After that, we have three categories. We have three fields in the product designing. First is designing, that is computer aided designing. We can do it with the engineering graphics by hand drawn drawings, or we can use a software that is called AutoCAD for the 2D drafting. And in 3D modeling, okay, are you getting my hello?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, someone is asking if I'm speaking or not. If you cannot hear me, then please rejoin. Okay. So in CAD, basically it is computer aided design, the design with the help of computer. And in this we have multiple softwares. For 2D drafting or 2D drawings, we use AutoCAD, the best software in the industry by Autodesk. And for 3D modeling, we have many softwares like uh, SolidWorks and CATIA from Dassault System, Creo Parametric from PTC, Inventor from Autodesk, Fusion again from Autodesk, and NX from Siemens. So we can use any of the listed softwares for the CAD part. After that, after we create a 3D model, we have to run some simulations. So for the simulations or for the analysis, we can use two softwares. Basically, first is ANSYS, the most used software, and second is Nastran. It is from again Autodesk. Then after the analysis, after the simulations, we go for the manufacturing, and for manufacturing we use machines like lathe, shaper, and the milling machine. So many small vendors uses traditional methods, manual machines, but today we use CNCs, computer numeric control machines, and for that machines we need a program, and that program can be generated with the help of CAM, computer aided manufacturing. So in CAM we have multiple software. Most used software is Siemens NX CAM and Master CAM, and we can also use SolidWorks CAM, PTC, and NXCAM. Multiple softwares are available. So whichever is the company using, you have to learn that software and make programs according to that. Okay. So again, I have explained the software. So for CAD, for drafting, we use AutoCAD. We can make drawings, we can make views, we can make fully detailed drawings with the help of AutoCAD. And for basic and advanced 3D modeling, we have Creo, CATIA, SolidWorks, and Inventor. Different kind of software. For analysis, we have ANSYS and Nastran, and for manufacturing, we have Fusion 360, SolidWorks, and again Power Mill, yeah, Nest, sorry, CATIA and Creo, many softwares. Okay, so this session is for PTC Creo. So PTC is a parametric technology corporation, and Creo parametric is the software of this company. So PTC Creo is a 3D modeling parametric based software. So parametric based software means if you make a model with some parameter, and after the creation, if you change the any parameter, the whole product will be updated with the with relation to that parameter. So if we create a assembly, if we create a pipe and a flange for that pipe, if we add some relation between them, and if we change the diameter of that pipe, so the flange dia will also be upgraded, or if we change the diameter of the flange, the pipe dia will also be upgraded. So in PTC Creo, the first part is part modeling. So if we are going to create a product, so a product consists of many parts. Like we have a pen, so the pen has many components like its upper body, lower body, its caps, its refills. So many parts are okay. My voice is breaking for everyone or some particular persons. Is my voice clear? Is my voice
Not
clear?
for everyone, sir.
Not for everyone. Okay,
Not
you
for
have
everyone.
some
Okay.
internet problem. Okay, your connectivity is slow. So we will share the recording after the session. So if you are having any problem, you can also watch the training in the recordings. And if you have any questions, please open your mic and ask the question. I will repeat. Okay. So to create a assembly, to create a component, we need to create its several parts separately. So in part modeling, we create only parts, single parts, like for assembly of nut and bolt, we need to create nut and bolt both separately, and after that we can assemble them, we can apply the mechanism on them, and we can animate them. Okay. So in part modeling, we have multiple options. We have multiple commands like extrude, revolve, hole, fillet, chamfer, and so on. So the basic 3D modeling command are extrude, revolve, sweep, and blend. Four commands that are available on every software. Either you use AutoCAD, you use PTC Creo, SolidWorks, CATIA, or like other softwares, whichever is available. Okay, so you are going to see these all commands on every software. So if you learn a single software, you can operate any other software with the help of this. Okay. So first we will cover part modeling. After that, we will cover assembly, in which we assemble the whole product, and after that we will make the drawing of that part. Okay, like this. We can make a drawing. We can make a fully defined drawing with the help of balloons, with the help of bill of material. Okay. So we are going to start the software now. Okay. So as you have downloaded the software, I think we have provided you the link. So I have installed Creo Parametric 5. I think you have installed Creo Parametric 6. Both have similar features. The training we are going to cover will uh, have same tools in Creo Parametric 5 or 6 or 4 or 3. You can use any version. Okay. Simply just double click on the software and the software will open in few seconds. Do you know the previous name of the Creo parametric software? What was its earlier name?
Pro engineer.
Okay, yes, Pro Engineering. Okay, and the short form was ProE. Okay, please turn off your mic. Okay, so the software is open. Please turn off your mic. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Again, आपका mic off नहीं. Please turn off your mic. Because I'm having trouble in listening. Getting my own voice again. Okay, please turn off your mic. If you have any query, then open your mic, ask your question, and after that, turn off your mic, please. Okay, so our software is open. The first window you are going to see is this. In this, we have a ribbon bar up here. We have a browser here. You can access the internet from here. As you can see, we have opened a website ptc.com, and these windows are predefined, so we can see them every time we open with the help of internet. So here in the left side we have a folder tree right now. If we open a file, we are going to see here a model tree. Okay, right now you can access the files and folders of the computer. If you open a new file, you are going to see here the model tree that is here. Okay, so we have options in file menu, new file, open file. If you want to create a new file, just click here. If you want to open a previous saved file, just click open. Next option is manage files. So Creo Parametric uses a different kind of approach to save the files. Every time you press Ctrl S or every time you press the save button, it saves a new copy of the file. Means you are going to have multiple files in your library or in your working directory. So to delete the previous version, we have also the option of delete all versions. So we are going to use it later. And next is manage session. To change the units, we will have the option manage session. Sorry, to change the unit, we will use prepare. Manage session will be used to select the working directory. So Creo Parametric is a specific software that uses this concept working directory. It is for if you open a file, the by default option is my documents. It will save the file to my document, and for opening a file it will directly go to my document. If you want to choose a specific folder, you can always go to that folder. Like I'm going to choose a file from, okay, I'm going to select this Creo folder. So right click, set as working directory and open. Okay, if I press cancel and again I press open, you can see now I am directly in the folder Creo. And if I select a file, I open a file and I save a new file, it will always be saved in this folder. So working directory is the must selection file in this Creo parametric. So go to manage session, select working directory, or simply go to here common folders, select your folder from here and right click and set as working directory. Okay. So now we are going to select a new file. So in new file dialog box, we have multiple options. So we are going to cover in this training is part modeling, assembly modeling, and drawing. Three modules will be covered in this training. So in part modeling, simply select solid, or it is pre-defined, pre-selected. You just have to select the part. Okay. Then you have to enter the name. If you don't enter the name, PRT0001 will be the default name. If you want to save the name or enter name, you can select any name, like I'm going to enter drawing 1. Okay, now check that I have written drawing space 1. If I press OK, it will show us an error that illegal character in drawing 1, re-enter. It means Creo parametric doesn't support spaces, it will need a character between. Okay, so we can always use underscore or dash. So select your file, enter your name here like this, and please use underscore for the spaces. Okay, after that, next option is for template. So template define the units. Okay, unit of your file will be dependent of the template. Okay, so if you just click OK, the file will be open in inches IPS system. If you want to change the units, simply uncheck this box and press OK, and now you will have a new dialog box, that is new file options, that there you can select templates. So you have multiple templates. You can see the default template it has selected is inch lbs. Okay, part solid. In means inch, lbs for weight. So simply we are going to select here mmns part solid. Basically it is the template of part modeling, solid modeling, and mm is millimeter, ns means newton second. Okay, so the default template we are going to choose is millimeter newton second part solid, and select OK, and a new file will be open. Okay, so in the file you have multiple options. Now your ribbon bar has multiple tools, and you are now shifted to model tree from the folder browser, and now you have option of the planes, the coordinate system, and your file name. So the tools, now you can see in file you have multiple tools available here. You can now save the file, save as with a different name, or print the file, or you can manage session, similar option, but prepare. The prepare option we have model properties. Now you can change the units from here, change option, you can change to any units. Or if you want to check the mass property, now we don't have anything in the drawing is empty, so the mass properties are not available. If we make any solid model, we can see the mass property of the object here. Okay, so right now just close. Next, now we are going to start sketching. So first session of the Creo parametric we are going to cover is the sketch. How we can create a sketch, how can we define a sketch. Yes, any questions? Okay. So you can see we are right now in the model tab. We can change the tabs anytime we need, but our main tools are available in model that we are going to use. So first we have operations. This is regenerate, simply a refresh button. Copy paste option, simply the clipboard option, control C, control V. Then we have get data. We can always insert some data from here. Right now we are not going to insert any data. Then we have datums. To create additional planes, axes, points, we can use these datum. So next we have sketches. We are going to create some sketches today. And next we have shapes. So in shapes we have standard shapes, like we have to create a cylinder from the circle, simply select extrude. We want to create a box from a rectangle, simply select extrude. If we want to create a cylinder from a rectangle, we have option revolve. Then multiple other options are there. After that, we have some engineering options, like we want to create some standardized holes, some threaded holes. We have hole options. We want to apply some drafts for the mold. We can apply from here. If you want to create a round feature, means we want to uh, convert our sharp edges to smooth edges, we can use round or chamfer. So several other options are available. After that, we have editing. We want to pattern our feature, we want to mirror our feature. So the options are here. So simply today we are going to cover the sketches. So simply select the sketch, or you can press S button. You can always see the shortcut with the command. You can see we have sketch, and in bracket we have text S. So there are few ways. You can simply select the sketch, and after that you can define its placements by selecting some planes, or you can simply select the plane on which you want to create a sketch and select the sketch. So in this way you don't have to select the placements, it will be just predefined or pre-assigned to it. Again, we are going to see how to select the view on which you want to create a sketch. You can either select it from here. This option is called flyout menu. It will be shown on every click you make on the plane, on the part. Okay, it will show you some related options. But if you want to choose an option from the ribbon, you can always choose from it here. Okay, so select top view. I want to create a top view sketch, so select top, then go to sketch. Okay, or to exit the sketch, press ok or cancel. I want to cancel the sketch. Next option is select the sketch and define the placements here. So in placement, simply select the select the plane here. I want to select the top plane. So you can see the references are predefined. We can always click the direction, sketch view direction, or we can always change the orientation. You will see it in a few seconds. What is this name? So click on sketch, and now we are in a sketch environment. You can see the sketching tools here. Okay, so now our plane is not parallel to the screen, so we can select it, we can rotate it with the help of middle mouse wheel button. Okay, no audio for everyone or some people's. Can you hear me?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So someone has problem in audio. You can rejoin or reconnect or turn off your internet on off. Then you will be able to hear me. Okay. If someone face this issue and you want me to repeat the command, I will repeat. Please ask. Okay. Okay, so to create a sketch, we need this plane to be oriented parallel to the screen. So how we can do that? We have this option here, sketch view. We can just click it and the screen will be parallel to our screen. Okay, so now if you make anything, you can see it properly. But if it is orientated to other direction, then we cannot be able to draw properly. We will not be able to see properly. Okay. For these problems, we have option sketch orientation, sketch view, here or here. Two options. Okay. You can find it in setup, sketch view, or you can find it in our navigation toolbar here. Okay. After that, now we have multiple sketching options. First option is line. We can use it with the help of L, or we can simply select it from here. We have two types of line chain or line tangent. simply line chain we are going to select. Then we just have to select 2 points or press on other two any other 2 points. We can use it multiple times. It is a continuum line. By the name you can see it's a line chain, so it will be a chain. So if you want to get out of the command, simply press middle mouse wheel, so command will be cancelled. Okay, but you can always use it. If you want to cancel everything, just press one time center mouse wheel and press again. Okay, you have to click 2 times to exit the command. Then after that you will be able to see some dimensions, some relations here. Okay, so again, so first thing that we will do in every sketch is define center lines. So center lines are necessary if you want to add some relation, you want to create a symmetrical sketch. So first thing every time you create a sketch is create some center line. So I'm going to create a sketch. So now I have to select center line. So here you have center lines, and also you have some center lines option here also. So what is the difference between these two center lines? This is a center line of datum type. Datum type means you can see it from outside of the sketch also. But from this center line, you cannot see it outside of the sketch. If I create a center line here and exit, okay, I'm not able to exit with this center line. Okay, so I'm going to create a rectangle. Okay, so now we can see we have a rectangle here, but we cannot be able to see the center line. But if we edit the sketch again and if we create the center lines of datum types, okay, and exit, we will see some center lines here. So this is the difference. If you want to use some center line after the sketch, you always use datum type center lines. If you don't want to see the center lines after the sketch, just use simple center lines. Okay. So always use center lines now. So select center lines, select this, you will be shown some center lines already that are available, but they will not be used. Like I'm going to select here, I want to mirror this object in this side. I won't be able to do that because there is no center line defined. This is a reference line, not a center line. Okay, so we have to create a center line from here and from here. Okay, it can rotate, so choose the point to make it horizontal vertical. If you just click here, you can always make it horizontal by applying some constraint. So after the sketching we have option of editing. After that we have some constraints. So you can make the object constraints, like you can see here, this is a vertical line, constraint line, this is a vertical line, this is a vertical line, it's horizontal, horizontal. So this line I want it to be horizontal, so I can always select a relation called horizontal. So select horizontal, select the line, so this line will be horizontal. But I want this line on this point, so we have a relation called coincident. Coincident means that the object will be on the selected entity. Okay, so coincident, I want this object to be here, so simply select that and the center line will be moved to this location. Okay, now if you select this and select the mirror command, you can select it and the object will be mirrored to this center line. Okay, so this is the main reason to create the center line. It will be able to help you with the mirror command or the modifying commands. So simply create two center lines. Next we have line. So if we have center lines and you create a line from this side to this side, after some extent if you create a similar line to both side distance equal, it will show some relation that is called symmetry. You can see here the relation symmetry, and if you click, the line will be symmetrical. It will move both sides with equal distances. Okay, if you don't have a center line, it will will not show that. Okay, I have deleted the center line here, and I am using a line, so you will not see a relation here because there is no center line. So this is the use. Okay, so after creating a line, you will see some dimension here. So you can just double click on the dimension, enter the value. I want it 200 and enter. So line will be adjusted. Okay, and after that you will see again a dimension here. Because the object is freely movable right now, it can move up and down. Okay, it will not move left and right because I have make it symmetrical and I have defined a dimension here. So if I define a dimension here, the object will be fixed, it will not move because it is a fully defined sketch. Okay, so if I want to make a box from here, I can use line. I can always pick the points like this, and I can use it like this. Okay, to get some reference, just go here, select here and select here. Okay, so in this way you can create a fully defined box. So now you can see there is a color. Why is this color showing? Because we have some inspection option enabled. If we create an open sketch, it is an open sketch, not a closed sketch. Closed sketch means a closed body. Okay, a circle or a rectangle is a closed body. But if you have a open sketch, then we will see some red points, and if we have a closed sketch, then we will see a this color filled body. Okay, so from where you can control the display option, we have inspect option here. First, this is the endpoint option, highlight open ends. If we turn it off, the red color will be off. If we turn it on, the red color will be shown. Okay, same as shade closed loop, this color will be shown. If we turn it off, there will be no color. So it is necessary to enable these options because they will help us to determine whether our sketch is closed or not. Okay, so Creo parametric does not support the open entity sketch. Okay, if we select a single object and if we select some line, okay, and we close, we will not be able to convert it into 3D. Okay, so we have to use these option to determine if our sketch is closed or open. Next, we have option of circles. Multiple types of options are there. First is center and point. You can guess the type by reading the name. We have to specify a center point and a point or a radius. So selected the option, we have to select the center point. I want the center point on this point, and we have to specify the radius. So without value, just click on any point, then there will be a value of diameter. Simply double click and define the diameter of, well, of the object. If you want to convert it into the radius, then just select it. We have the option here, convert to radius, then it will show us radius. If you want to convert to diameter, then select diameter, it will be converted. Okay, so second option, we have concentric type. So to use the concentric type, you should have a circular entity in circle or arc, whichever do you want to make the concentric. Okay, so concentric means same center. So select the object and you can make the concentric circles inside, outside, wherever do you want. Okay, then you have to define the values again. So to go back a step, press Ctrl Z or Z, or you can always press undo from here. Okay, to come back, you have the option of redo. It is a standard option of Windows, Ctrl Z or Ctrl Y, whichever do you want. Okay. Next option we have is 3-point circle. So we can select 3 points. Like I have a point here, I have a point here, and I have a point here. So by selecting those 3 points, I can create a fully defined sketch. I don't need a dimension here because this circle has the reference of these 3 points and those 3 points are already defined. Okay. How can you determine this option? This circle doesn't need a dimension because you don't see a dimension here, a weak dimension that you will see here. Here you can see some gray color dimensions. These dimensions are called weak dimension. These dimensions are called locked dimension. Basically, this dimension is locked. I have entered a setting. I have selected a setting to lock the dimension that I added. If I edit this dimension to 200 and press enter, this dimension will convert into red color. Okay, and the object radius or diameter will be fixed now. Okay, if I delete this and the circle is in this, then we can change the dimension. We can change the size of the object. Okay, now if we select the center point, we can always change it. So if we define it properly, then we will not be able to move the object. So we have to select the object, we have to fully define the object. Okay, so next option, that is 3 tangent. If I want to create a tangent circle, so I want a circle that is tangent to these 3 lines, this one and this one. So go to circle, select 3 tangent, select first tangent, select second tangent. If I want the third tangent this, then circle will be created like this. If I select third tangent from this, the circle will be like this. Okay, so it depends on you how you want to create the sketch. So after that, we have an option of line tangent. Line tangent means if I create a circle here, a circle, second circle here. Okay, I want to create a line that is tangent to both the circles, then we have an option right here, line tangent. This line tangent will be used only if you have the line tangent on both sides. If you have a single side tangent, then this option will not work. So first select the first circle, select the other circle, the line will be tangent to both the sides and you can see the tangent relation here. And you can also create this relation with the help of constraints. To simply create a line, you can always select here. So if you click here, you will see there is a relation called coincident. So coincident is also required. So I have selected another coincident. So to create the tangent, I have to select the tangent relation here, select the circles and select the line. Again, select the circle, select the line. So now it is tangent to the circle. Okay. So there are also open ends there because one loop is this, one loop is this. So it will always show this type of option. To create a fully defined or full closed shape, you have to just trim down these circles from inside. So to trim the entities, we have option delete segments from here, editing, delete segment. To select the command, simply you can click on the object or you can simply select like this, drag, so it will be trimmed. Okay, so now you can see there is another option, open ends. So just go there and trim this object also. Okay, so it is very helpful to show the open ends and the closed loop or shaded area. So next option we have is rectangles. We have 4 types. First, corner rectangle, simply select 2 points. The rectangle will be defined and simply define the values. Okay. Then we have slanted rectangle. If you want a rectangle on an angle, then simply we have slanted. And if you want a center type, simply select the center type. Then the rectangle will be defined from the center and it will be symmetrical to both sides. So in this case, we don't need to define the symmetrical relation. Okay, like select the center rectangle, select the center point here, and now your rectangle is symmetrical. If you define any value, the both side will change by default. Okay. Next option is parallelogram. So in this, as you know, we can provide both side angles. So whatever you want to define, you can define it from here. So next option I want to show is the dimension. How can you define the user defined dimension? You can see as I have created a rectangle, by default it has specified some dimension, some weak dimensions, but I don't want these dimension, I want some different kind of dimension. So I want to specify the center point from here. So I have to select the dimension from here. Just select the center line and select the point. And where do you want to place the dimension? So I want this gap. So simply I have to select between these points. Then select the middle mouse wheel. Okay. As you know, middle mouse wheel has a button also. So you have to select the middle mouse wheel button. Okay. Now select the dimension, choose this center line, choose this point, and come right here somewhere and select the middle mouse wheel button. Hello, do you have any question? Hello. Okay. So define the dimension. I want it 500. Then define its height. Height I want to define it from here. So click here some. So I want it 100. Then I want to define its length. So select the line, simply click here. I want it 150 and I want to define an angle between these two lines. So select two lines and click somewhere here or here or here, wherever you want to define the angle. I want it between these two lines. So click here. So I want the angle 90 degree and the object will be created like this. If I want an angle between this line and this line, so simply select this line and this line and click somewhere between these two lines. So angle will be created here. So I want this 50 degree, so 50 degree will be created. If you want to change the position, then simply select the dimension and drag it and you can change. So after that, only one dimension required. If I want to define that this length of the line is equal to this length, so we have a relation called equal. So we can always define equal relation. So whichever dimension has a, whichever object or whichever entity has a dimension, that will be applied to other. If you have defined a dimension here like 120, okay, you can see both the both the length, both the line has different dimensions. Now if you try to make the both lines equal, like I have selected this and selected this, then there will be a error or there will be a conflict and a new dialog box will appear. So you are going to get this dialog box very frequently because you will have to create the dimension, and new people, new learners will always create this type of situation. So don't worry, just you have to select these so you can see which dimension is this option. So dimension 1 120 is this one, dimension 150 is this one, and constraint equal length is between this and this. It is highlighted in blue color. So now, if you want these two to be equal, then you have to delete one of the dimension. If you want to have both the dimension, then you have to delete the this equal length constraint. So I want to delete 120 length. So select 120 and select the delete. So 120 dimension will be deleted. If you want to delete 150, if you want the length of the object to 120, so select 150 and delete the 150, so both the line will be 120 of length. Okay, so anyone having any queries regarding these commands that we have covered till now, So please ask your question right now. Any queries?
Sir, how to lock the dimension, sir?
How to
Lock the dimension.
log the dimension?
Measurements.
Okay, okay. So I have selected a option. I have done some settings in the setting menu, and my dimension are always locked. But you can simply select a dimension and select right click, and there you will select an option. There you will get an option lock dimension. I have predefined the option from here, file and manage. Okay, okay. From option, okay, from this option you will have a dialog box Creo parametric options. The whole setting of the software will be here. So we are in sketching, we need to define, we need to convert the dimension to locked. So we have to select here sketcher. We are in sketcher, we want to change the dimension of sketcher. So select the sketcher here. Now you have multiple options. Okay, first is object display setting. Which is object display you want to enable or disable. Second, sketchup constraint assumptions. Which assumption do you want to create? So we have multiple option here, and we have selected all the options. Okay, accuracy and sensitivity, so much options here. Then we will have an option. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, we have the option here, dimension behavior while dragging the section. So I have defined lock user defined dimension. Whichever dimension I add it, the dimension will be locked. I have selected from here. If I uncheck this, my option will be changed, and I have an option lock modify dimension. If I uncheck this also and I select OK, then there will be an option that configuration setting you have made. So it will ask you to change. If you select yes, a file will be saved as a configuration file, and the new configuration will work on the restart of the software. Not right now. If I save the configuration here, so if I create a circle and edit, again my option will be in red because I have not restarted my software. So the same configuration will work on the after the restart of the software. Okay, after you restart the software. So if you want to apply these settings, please after the settings go to options, go to sketcher. After the setting, whichever do you want, select this lock user defined dimension, select OK, select yes, OK, and restart your software, and you can see your settings will be like this. Okay, if you don't set the values, if you don't set the setting over there, you will get a dark blue color line dimension here. Okay, this is light blue color. If you and edit the dimension, you will get dark blue color dimension. Okay, and you can always right click and lock that dimension from here also. Okay, my dimensions are already locked, so I am not able to lock. I can unlock it. Okay, if I unlock,
Thank you, sir.
you will get this color dimension. Okay, this is now unlocked dimension. Okay, select lock, it will be red color. With lock, unlock, it will be dark blue color. Okay, any other question? Weak dimension, you cannot hide the weak dimension because to complete a fully defined sketch you have to specify all the dimension. If you specify all the dimension, all the weak dimension will be gone automatically. Okay, like I'm having a dimension here, an object here, so I have got some few weak dimensions. Okay, if I fully define this object, so my weak dimension will be converted to strong dimension like this. Okay, there is no weak dimension now. So in this way you have to work. Clear? Any other question? Okay.
No, sir.
Next option is arcs. So arc work as circle, similar to that. So first we have 3 point. So we can just simply select 2 points and third point as a radius. So we have the 3 point arc. You can always use it with other option, like I want arc here. So you can use 3 point arc. Select first point, select second point. Okay, sometimes this problem happens. So select from downside. Okay, again up. Now you can see it is a 3 point as well as tangent end. So it will assume a tangency from here. So to avoid that problem, simply click 3 point and create it outside like this, and you can always make it coincident to this point, to this point. Okay, like this, and you can always specify a radius for that. Sometimes the software will not choose the radius. Okay, if you enter any value, it will not be changed. So try to enter the nearest value. Okay, like it was 147. Okay, I enter 100, but it will not work. So try to enter the nearest value first. So I try 150, it will work. I try 120, it will work now. Okay, sometimes there are some problems like this. Next option are center and ends. If I want a semicircle here, simply select the center and end type. So select the center first, select the start, select the end, and there will be a semicircle. It will not ask for any dimension because it is coincident here, it is coincident here. So it will be fully defined by default. Next option, we have three tangent. So we can use three tangents like this. Okay, if you want it. Okay, select three tangents, select a tangent here, select a tangent here, and select the third tangent here, wherever you want. Okay, next option, concentric. Same center option, you can choose a circle for concentric type like this, or you can choose a arc for a concentric type like this. Okay, next option is conic type. If you want a conic arc, okay, you can create it like this. So these are the arc types. Next we have elliptical shapes. So two types again, center type. So select the center point, select first axis, major axis, minor axis, whichever do you want, and create like this. And second option, axis end. If I want to create an ellipse right here, so I can create it like this. Okay, this was center option. I have to choose the first center. This is end type. I have to choose the end points first, then I have to choose the end point second. Next option is spline. This is a free-form curve. It will be used in surface modeling, not right now. It can be used to trace out the image. Okay, you can always insert an image in a sketch, so you can trace that image and convert that to 3D. We will cover this later. Next option is fillet and chamfer. So if I want to apply here a fillet, so we have option circular and elliptical, and in circular we have two options, circular and circular trim. So if I select circular and select two lines, then you can see there are some dotted lines available here that will retain its corner. And if you select simple circular trim and select two lines, so you will see there will be no corner retaining. This line is because we have used a center type rectangle. If you use corner rectangle, okay, and we use circular trim, so there will be no corners for the dimensions. Okay, so you can choose any type, whatever you want. Next is elliptical type. Similar option, choose the two options. So there will be no radius, there will be major axis and minor axis size. So major axis you can specify and minor axis you can specify like this. So this will be elliptical option. Okay. Next is chamfer, similar to fillets. It is used to break the corners or according to shape. So chamfer without trim, chamfer with trim. So simply select the two lines wherever you want to create. You can specify some distance, okay, or you can specify point to point distance right here, or you can specify point to point distance right here. So you can also specify linear dimension. This is called linear dimension, and this is called aligned dimension. So whatever do you want, you can always enter it right here. So if you want to specify an angle of the chamfer, so you can always do that by selecting this line and this line, and wherever do you want to enter the angle, you want this angle or whole angle, it depends on you. So if I click here, okay, sorry, select dimension, select the line, this line, and if I click here, the angle will be there, okay. And if I select this line and this line, and I can also select here, and I can also click here the whole angle. So dimensions depends on how do you want it and how do you want to use the command. Here any question related these things, these commands? Okay. So next option is text. If you want to create a text, if you want to write something, simply select the text command, and then now if you select a command and you don't see anything, just read this line down below. Software will always show you some help related to that option. It will show you how to use that option. Like I have selected a line, then there is an option, read it. If you select ellipse, then again you can read it. Any command you select, just read the below line if you want to know about the command. So simply selecting text. First, select start point of the line to determine text height and orientation. I want my text here, so I have selected this. Now I have to select the second point to determine the height. So whatever height do you want, just click on a point. So there will be a dialog box that you have to enter the values there. So first it is text, enter text here. Whatever do you want to write, type here. After that, there are option of fonts. You can change the font from here. After that, there is position. You want to create it from left or from right. Okay, you can see you want it at left or right or center, whatever option. Again, middle, top or bottom. So the bottom we are specifying is for the line, not for the sketch. Okay, so like we have selected center, if we select left, so the first line will be on the left of the text. Okay, then we have aspect ratio, we can control it from here or we can enter the value. Then we have slant angle, we can always provide an angle. We have spacing between cap, so we can increase and decrease this cap. So we have these type of options. If you want to place it along a curve, then similar options are there. So just click OK and the text will be placed like this. If you want to change the height, just simply select here. Modifying dimension is not allowed. Okay. So okay. So we have to create it first. Okay. So just specify the point. I want its height. So select Okay, equal lengths are applied, so I'm going to delete this equal length, so I can now define the value. Okay, so 20. Here you can always change the dimension to any type. You can also delete this reference dimension. Next option is offset, so we are going to delete this text. Okay, now you can see the line was also selected, so we can press Ctrl Z and we can select it like this. Now there is an option called offset. Offset means I want this shape to be placed outside with a new curve. So select offset. There are multiple options. Select a single. I want only this line, or I want a chain. I have a continuous line, or I have a loop. There is difference between loop and chain. So first we are going to use single. So I will select a line, whichever I want to offset. So see the arrow and enter the value according to that. If I want the offset in inside, then I have to enter a value. I'm going to enter 10. So the line will be created inside of this object in the direction of this arrow. Okay, so select. So you can see we have a line here, offset of this line with the value of 10. Next option is, if you want the line to be outside, then select the line. So arrow is again down, so enter the value here -10. So that will be in opposite direction. So to change the direction, just simply press the minus value. Okay, if you want to offset the whole object, you can see this is a loop. So offset, select the loop, select the object and enter the value. Now you can see the direction is outside. If you want to be outside, then enter the value in positive 5. Enter 5. So there is an offset of the sketch at 5 mm. If you have an open loop, like, okay, I have deleted this line. Now it is a open loop. It's not a loop. It's a chain. So select offset, select the chain, select the first point, okay, and select the last point. Okay, so chain can be the offset of the chain can be variable, like I'm entering -5, so the -5 offset will be generated of the whole object. Okay, if I select limited, if I want the offset from here to here, then select the chain, select the first object, select the end object. So select the value -5. So you can see the offset will be generated from here up to here, not beyond that, because we have selected the line up to this line. So it is offset. You can use it like this. Next option is thickness, but we are not going to use it right now. We will cover it later. So the main option we are going to use right now is editing, and that is modify. Okay. So right now we have a shape. Okay, I'm going to create a new shape. Okay, I'm going to create a new sketch first. So plane sketch, and I'm going to create a sketch like this, like this. Going to trim. Okay, we have this sketch. Okay, we have not specified any values. I want to use the equal relation. So our sketch is like this. Okay. So if I change the value from 209 to 20, the whole sketch will lost its shape, and there is the problem we don't want to have. Okay. So I want this shape, but I want this length of the line to be 20 and everything according to this scale. Okay. So we have an option called modify. So we select modify. Okay, we select all the dimension, whichever do you need. Okay, like this, or you can select all the sketch like this and use modify, so it will pick all the dimension by default. So now I want to maintain this shape with respect to change of the dimension. So there is an option called lock scale. I can lock it, so everything will be scaled according to the value I will provide. So I have selected this, so the box is here, I want to change this, or I have selected this box is here, I want to change this. Depends on you, whatever do you want. If I change the value from the scroll, you can see the object will be scaled down or up. So if I enter a value of 20, the whole object will be scaled down to 20 and the shape will remain with respect to that. Okay, this option is very important if you don't want to uh, if you don't want to destroy your shape, so please use modify command. Okay, so now you can edit with other values. I want it 10, I want it 12, whatever do you want, just enter the value. So in this way there is no much problem. Next option is palettes. If you want to insert some standardized shapes, like I want a T section, I want a I section, so there is an option called palette, and it is a standard shape option. Sketchup palette, we have polygons, profile, shapes, profiles, sorry, stars here. So what do you want? Just go there. I want some polygons. I want a three-sided triangle. So select here, drag and drop it here and close. Then you have some option here for scaling the object to convert to create the angle. So what scale do you want? It is right now on 13. I want it 20. And if you want to rotate, just enter the angle. Okay, angle will be created. I want it 0. So the object will be like this. To complete, the object will be created like this. So I have entered the scale of 20, so length of the line will be at 20. Okay. So any questions? Any questions? Please ask your question if you have any. After this
No, sir.
session, I'm going to assign you some assignments. Please turn off your mics. After the session, you will get an assignment, and in that assignment, you will have to create some drawings, and you have to mail the drawings to us. Okay, if you want to get the certificate of this training, you have to attend all the sessions, and you have to submit all the drawings, all the assignments. Okay, it is not compulsory to create a fully definite drawing, full correct drawing. Just you have to attempt the drawing and you have to attempt the question. So please listen carefully. Please ask your queries if you have any. Okay. So now we are going to create a drawing. So I'm going to close this. We are going to have a look at a drawing. So what type of question you can see. So we have some drawings here. Okay. So I want to create this view, this drawing in my Sketchup. I want this complete drawing. So how can we make this? So first of all, look at the view. Which view is available? It is the top view. Please turn off your mics, please. If you have any question, please turn on, or after that, turn off your mic. There are lots of noise.
Hello,
Hello, yes.
sir. In that modify command, there
Uh,
were two options. One was regenerate, and the other one was other. Can you explain the first one, please?
wait a minute, wait a minute. I will explain. But first, someone has opened his mic and not turning it off. Okay. Okay, we are going to cover that option also. So we are going to cover with this. So we are going to create a drawing on the top view. So selecting top and selecting the sketch. So your question is regenerate and what is your question? Please ask your question again.
Sir, in that modify command, here
Modify.
it told to modify one. It
Okay.
open.
Okay.
That
Modify. Okay. Okay. First we have to create something. Okay.
yeah,
So look, we
regenerate one.
are okay. Okay. Modify dimensions command is a command in which you can modify a single dimension. You can modify all the dimension with respect to this. This is a sensitivity to control this. Okay. Sensitivity defining that how much rotation do you need to change the dimension. Okay. If the sensitivity is high, you will get the dimension higher value of the dimension with a little control. Okay, the
Hmm.
sensitivity is low, I have to move the dimension, move the scroller more. Okay,
Okay.
look, I have selected it from here, the value is 221 and I will go up to the end, the value is 227. Okay, the difference is very less. If I select the sensitivity to higher, now value is 227. Okay, I'm selecting it from here and I'm going to here. The value is 3000.
Regenerate.
Okay, this is the sensitivity. Okay, clear? Regenerate means regenerate. If you don't regenerate it, the value will not be changed. You will not see any change from here. Okay,
Okay.
now I have changed the value to 56, but the length of the line is not changing. Okay, this is 160 and this is 56. Okay,
Hmm.
it is not regenerating because regenerate is just a refresh button that will refresh your screen. If I press the regenerate, the object will be converted to that actual value. Okay, you can see the regenerate button also here, and after the sketch you will get it right here. So regenerate is a refresh button that will update your screen with the work you are doing. Okay, so modify, I'm selecting the dimension. If it is regenerate, if I change, you can see the change here. If I deselect, you will not see the change here. You will see the change in value, but not in the shape. Okay, so this is the difference. I'm going to
Sir,
cover everything, but yes,
and if we do the log one, then the sensitivity will be log.
I'm not getting your question. Please ask again.
Sir, in that modify down the regenerate, there was log option. Na? So if we do that log scale,
Log
so
scale means, yeah, log scale means if you select multiple options, the shape will remain the same. Basically, it will work as a scale tool. Okay,
okay,
like we have two values.
like the dimension on which
Okay,
side we
check.
have selected will
See
be
here,
changed.
see
Na?
here, see here. I have the value of 150. If I want to double
Okay,
the values of these two lines, I have to just scale the object. So you can simply scale the object by selecting the modify dimension tool. Okay, I have selected one dimension. I will select another dimension. Okay, if I log the scale of the both the dimensions and I change this value from 100 to 200, and I will, if I press enter, the this value will be doubled. If I press 200 enter, the down value will also be changed to 100. Okay, this will act as a scale command. Log scale will always log the scale of the object and simply apply the value to all the objects, all the dimensions.
okay,
Okay,
sir.
yeah. So we are going to create a new sketch and we are going to create this drawing in that sketch. Okay, so first read the dimension, read the drawing, what you have in the drawing. So we have a view in the top plane, and we have a line of 40 length, and we have a line at the angle of 18 degree with overall length of 100. Okay, this gap is 60, but linear dimension we have 60. Okay, then this length is 20, and this is similar mirror image of these objects. Okay, this is 10, this is 25, and this gap is not available right here, but we can see the gap in the other views. Okay, so if you see in the left hand side view, we can get this dimension. This dimension is overall gap is 40 from this point to this point, and this gap is 10. Okay, so this gap is 10. So I have to make a line, horizontal line at 18-degree angle with 140 value. So first use the center lines. Okay, I'm going to select a line. Okay, like this. I'm going to create it upward. So I'm drawing it from upward direction like this. So this is 20, this is 60, this is 100. So this is 20. Okay, this is 40, and overall value is from this point to this point is 100. Okay, and this height is 60, so half the value is 30. Okay, and we have this angle. Please turn off your mics. So this angle I want to specify from this line. So I have to click somewhere here, and you can see we have some problems. So what is the problem? We have a value of 9.46. I want this value to be 18 degree. We have a length of 30 that we need. We have a length of 100 that also we need. We have a relation collinear. So I don't know where it is applied, so I can delete it, but first I will check the other option. There is a point on entity. I want this point to be on this axis, and there is a horizontal. Okay, so I want to change the collinear type, so I have deleted that. So now I can assign an angle of 18 degree, but there are some problems. Okay, so the collinear.
So this value is not 20. This value is not 20 degree. We have to half this value.
Okay, this value is 20. Okay, this is half. Okay, I get it. But we can again assign that, just we have to apply a relation called coincident. Okay, and first apply horizontal relation. Okay, so this value is 10 and this value is 18 degree. Okay, so our line is, our center line is movable right now, so just I'm going to constrain that. Okay, so we have a drawing that is over defined here right now, because I have selected I have given a value of 30 here, 40 here, overall 100 here, and 10 here. Then I'm specifying 18 degree. That is over defined. We only need either it is 100 mm with 18 degree, or either it is 40 mm with 18 degree. Okay, we cannot specify both the values 100, 40 and 18 degree, or 10 value. Okay, we have to adjust that. We need only three values: 100, this one and this one. If we need 100 value, then we have to manipulate any value, we have to delete. Okay, if I apply here 30, then that will create some problems. Okay, you can see if I select, we are getting some problem. So to create it with exact values, we need to delete the angle from here. Okay, so now I can specify here 30 value, and it is fully defined. Basically we don't have a weak dimension here. Next we have a line here, so its gap is 40 and this width is 10. So line, we are going to create a line here like this. So this line is also 40, so we can always choose an equal relation between this and this, and this gap is 10 mm, so we can specify it like this. Okay, So we have created half of the sketch. So we can always use a command called mirror, but mirror command is not available right now because we have to select an object first to enable the mirror command. So we can select all the objects, select mirror command and select the axis. So we can see the object is created now. So overall distance is 60. If you are getting a value of 0, okay, then you can change the value to see what the column. So you can see it's not coincident on the line. So simply select the coincident, select the line, select the edge, and we can specify it. Okay. Someone is calling me. Wait a second. Who is Ashish? Is there any Ashish in this group? Okay. So like this we can create a fully defined drawing. Okay. Next we have a circle that will be on this line and at center with a die of 20. So select the circle command. So this will be on in relation to this. So we can simply select a vertical constraint between this point and this center. Dimension will be removed and the diameter will be 20. Okay. Next we have a cut here that is 10 wide, 15 to next and 5 there. So a rectangle that is symmetrical like this. So gap is 10. We have a gap of 15. So and next the coincident we don't need here. I can delete that coincident. I can always specify the value here and it at 5 in minus direction. So minus 5 like this. You can create it. Okay, and we also need some lines. Okay. So if you don't want to see these relations, we have the options, multiple options right here. First, we have the option of zoom, refit. If you lost your drawing, simply click on this refit option. Whole the drawing will be zoom in at your full screen. If you want to zoom at a particular location, just select the area. You will be zoomed at that area. If you want to zoom out, then select minus option. Okay, like this way you can select the zoom option. Right now we are not going to cover these options. This will be covered in 3D. We are going to cover right now is this option, that is if you want to see the dimensions, that is on. So we are seeing the dimensions. Then constraint display is also on, so that's why we are seeing this all the constraints. So if you turn off, there will be no constraints. If you want to see a grid, then there is a grid option. You can see a grid in the background. If you want to see the vertices display is the blue point on the edges. So if you want to turn that off, there will be no blue point on the edges. Like now we have a blue pointing on the edges. So that's vertices display. So you can always turn on and off these dimensions like this. Okay, select all, select off, whatever do you want. It's right here. Okay,
Sir, there is one doubt.
yeah.
Sir, in this diagram, these red icons are shown.
Red icon will
If
show because we don't make these
overdefined,
types of diagrams. We don't make multiple loop shapes in a single sketch. Okay, this
okay,
session is today. This today's session is just a practice of how you can use the sketching tab. So that's why we are right now creating some open-end sketch. Simply just click here and you will not see because we are creating this drawing. But if you are going to create a 3D object, you will not create this type of sketch. You will only create outside shape, not complete sketch. Okay. After that, we will create multiple sketches in different ways so that we can create a 3D model like this. But right now, we are creating just the sketch, just the view. That's why we are going to allow that
Sir,
right now.
if this sketch gets overdefined, then that overdefined thing is to be solved like SolidWorks only, na?
No, overdefined. If you overdefine anything, like I have I have defined a value of 20, it will right away give you an error and it will always show you that error. Okay, you will not be able to work without closing it. Okay, so you have to resolve the error right away. Okay, SolidWorks can work with the error. Creo don't work without with the error. Okay, you have to resolve your errors first, and so you can use the sketch in the different categories.
Okay.
Okay, so always fully define your sketch, always resolve your errors in the sketch. Okay, if I complete okay, if I want to create it into 3D, there will be problems. I won't be able to create this object into 3D. Okay, so that's the error. So if I want to
Sir,
create it,
we can select.
yeah. What's
Sir,
your question?
in 3D we can select. In 3D we can select contours and we can create it now, sir.
We can create it. That's the additional option. But right now, people don't know what is the sketching, what is the how we use the sketch. So in starting, we don't give those options to the students. Okay. If the student gets the basic option, then we will tell them full what can we do with this option. We can do many things. We can import the files from the other software. We can directly import the 3D. We can use contour option. We can use surface options here. So we can always use this type of sketch. But normally the new student won't be able to get that. So right now we are just not telling that. Okay.
Sir, in this training you are training only essential, sir.
Yeah.
Without stimulation.
Now we are starting with
Drafting
the
and
basic training right now. After that, we will cover the next training. We will cover many things. Okay, this training is how to start Creo, how to work on basic Creo parametric, how to create a basic part, how to create a basic simply, how to create a basic
Sir,
part. Okay,
sir, one more query. How
okay.
will you issue certificates, sir?
Yeah, we will issue the certificates.
Hello?
What is your query?
Hello, sir?
Yeah, ask the question again, please.
Sir, how will you issue the certificate, sir? By
We are going
manually or sending it to mail?
we are going to issue the certificates through the mail. Okay.
Shani sir, let me answer this.
Okay, sir.
Uh, Student, please understand these kind of questions can be asked on the WhatsApp group. Let us not waste time on such questions in the live session. You can ask on the WhatsApp group, we will respond. Let us focus on training in this session, please.
Okay.
Yeah, Shani sir, we can continue. These
Okay, sir.
questions can be asked on the WhatsApp group.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, so please post your question on WhatsApp group. You will get all the answers right there. Okay. So because we have 20 minutes left, so we have to hurry up right now. So next we have some commands. Right now editing, we have not covered all the commands. We have covered modify, read segment. Now we have a command called corner. So what is the corner command? So simply if you have two entities crossing and you want to create a corner and delete the other side, so there is the command corner. You can select the objects which you want to keep. If you select like this, the corner will be created. Okay, always select the sides you want to keep. Like I want to keep these sides, so it will work like this. I want to keep these side, it will work like this. Okay, It's similar to delete segment, but it will create a corner more quickly. Okay, next option is divide command. If you want to divide an object, like this is a single line, I want to convert this line into two entities, two lines. So we have an option here, divide. Just click on any point and the line will be divided. Okay, so you can see the green line is a one entity, second line is another entity. If you want to divide the circle, simply again select the divide command, select the circle from where you want to divide. Right now I am not seeing here any points because we have turned off the display of vertices. So enable the vertices display, you will get some uh, blue edges here, blue points here, and you can see that it's divided into multiple parts. Okay, this divide command is very important. It will be used in third or fourth day session. So we'll cover that in we will cover this in that session. Okay, next option is rotate and resize. If you want to scale your product, want to rotate your drawing, so simply select. After selecting, the command will be enabled, and if you select the rotate resize, again you have seen this command in the palette view. When you inserted the object, the rotate resize command was activated. So again here you can rescale it. You want to scale the object to 2, all the values will be scaled here. If you want to go at the angle, you can do that. If you want to change the perpendicularity, change the parallelism, anything you want to do, you can do it right here. Okay, we will cover these things while we are going through all the other commands like second day session. In next session we will be covering rotate resize. Next we have constraints. So vertical, parallel, vertical, horizontal you are already aware of. If we select a line, we can always provide a vertical relation, okay, or a horizontal relation. Okay. Next we have tangent. If you want to create a tangent relation, select tangent, select the entities you want to create tangent, so it will work like this. If you want to create a symmetrical relation, then you have to create a line or a center line. Now if you don't have a center line right here but you want to convert this line into center line, there is an option called construction geometry. There is a shortcut shift plus Z or you can click here construction mode, and now you make anything that will be converted to construction geometry. You want to convert that back to solid, just click on the button here solid, so it will be converted to solid, again to construction. So we have this type of option. Okay, so I want a rectangle and I want to make this rectangle symmetrical to a axis. So we have an option here, symmetry. So in symmetrical we have to select the ends of the line, and after that we have to select the axis. So now you can see the object is symmetrical. If we change the value from 30 to 20, the size will be changed on both sides of the axis. So if you want to make the object symmetrical to this axis, again use symmetry, select both the points, select the center, so object will be symmetrical to both sides, and again, okay, the dimensions are equal, so I have to change, so like 30, so change will be in both the sides. So what is the use of the symmetrical dimension, symmetry constraint? So like if we don't make it symmetrical, okay, I just delete the symmetrical relation. If I provide a value of 15, okay, 15 here, and you can see it is symmetrical, but in future if you want to change the value to 40, now you can see that this value also need to be changed to 20. Okay, so Here we can use a relation symmetrical so that it will update by default. We don't have to change the two values. We just have to change one value and the other value will be changed. Okay. Next relation is midpoint. So you want to have a line that is the point of this line I want on this line's midpoint. So simply select the midpoint constraint, select a line, select a point. So the point will be coincident on the midpoint of that line. If you want to change, if you want that this point should be on this midpoint, so go to midpoint, select the point, select the line, and you can see the change here. The object will be on midpoint. Next is equal if you want the length or the radius, or if you want to make two entities equal in length or equal in dimension, then you have the relation equal. You can always select two circles, always select two arcs. You can always select any two entities which you want to, similar entities. Okay. Next option is perpendicular. If you want to make these two perpendicular, then this is the relation constant we have done already. Then there is an option called parallel. If you want to create this line parallel to this line, then select parallel constraint, select the two lines, and the line will be converted to parallel. Now you can see that this line is converted to, this line is made parallel to this line. Why is that so? Why this line was not made parallel to this line? So you can see there are relations that this line is horizontal. If I delete the relation horizontal here, okay, now this line can be movable. So now if I select parallel, I select first, I select second. So the first object, so the first object's property will be applied to second unless it is defined. Okay, unless it is already defined. If I define, okay, if I define the line with a relation, so now I select parallel, I select first, I select this. So this line will have the effect. Okay. In this way you can use all the constraints. Now we have some dimensions here. Okay. So for radius, for angle, for length, you can use these dimension types. So dimension for angle, simply select two lines. Okay. For length, for for aligned length, you have to select like this. For linear length, you have to select outside of the line. Okay, I'm going to show you again. So we have a line, okay, like this. If you want to show the linear dimension, both linear dimension, like this is a linear, this is a aligned dimension. I have a dimension of 55. I don't want to see the aligned dimension, I want a linear dimension. In that case, go to dimension, select the object. Then you don't have to click right here, you just have to go outside and click. Okay, sometimes it some column. Okay, you can see you have to just go outside of that range so that it can create a linear dimension. Okay, so next we have a parameter type dimension. So parameter is a constraint type, like we have a rectangle and I want this rectangle to be 50 in length and I want this value to be driven by a parameter value. So we have a relation, we have an option called parameter. So select the parameter, select the dimension you want to Okay, first you have to select the object. So select the object by pressing the control. Okay, you have to select all the sides. Again, select the parameter, select the all edges of the object. Basically, that will define the loop. After that, select OK. Then select the dimension to be driven. So I want this driven dimension. So OK. Now you can see this is a variable dimension and we have the parameter of 208. Okay. So how does the parameter defined here? How can you calculate the parameter of an object? So like we have four lines. So we have a value of 50 and 50, that is 100. We have a 54 and 54, that is 108. So total sum of the length of the lines is 208. That's the parameter. If you change the parameter to 300, the change you will see is in this length. So 300, the change you will be see is in this length, both the lines. Okay. So if you want to control an object by its parametric value, parameter value, we have an option called parameter here. Okay. So first we have created a box here. We have defined its values. Okay. So I want to control this object with the help of parameter. So we have an option called parameter here. Simply select all the sides by pressing control. Like you select multiple files pressing control. Okay, holding the control button, selecting multiple, same as. Then select this button. Okay. After that you have to select the dimension which you want to be variable. Okay. Okay. I want this dimension to be variable, that if I change the value here of the parameter, this value will be changed. So I have selected this value. Now you can see there is a parameter of 208. If I enter the parameter value 300, the length will be changed here. If I change this value, I want this value to be 60. The change will be again in this. Okay. So this dimension is variable. It will be driven by these two values. If I make changing any one of these two values, then there will be some change. If I want the parameter 500, okay, so 500 will be completed by the help of, you can see that this is 60, this is 60, so 120 value is only consumed here, rest 380 value will be divided into these two lines. Okay, so 190, 190, 380. If I wanted 300, then rest the value will be consumed here. Okay, so this is the way of defining these values. Okay. So the last command is reference. Sorry, reference is the other command. We are not going to use reference right now. It will be covered in next session. It is used for creating a reference from a 3D plane or a 3D object. Now we are going to use a baseline dimension. So what is baseline dimension? Like we have a object. Okay, so these type of dimensions, this is a vertical dimension, horizontal dimension. Okay, so if I want to specify the point with respect to a ordinate type dimension, so we have a baseline type. So select baseline, select a point, where do you want to keep it. Okay, wait a second. Okay, we have this here, it was hidden right here. So select the baseline dimension, select the point, and select the press the middle wheel. Then there is an option called vertical horizontal. In which direction do you want to keep it? I want it in vertical. So you see there is a value called 0 in the vertical dimension. Okay, we also have a multiple option here. So next I want a value from here in the horizontal direction. So select, like I want this in horizontal. So we have a value from here 0 comma 0. I want to define these values from these values from these points. Okay, so select dimension, select this, select the point. Okay, you can see there is the dimension 72.5. This 72.5 value is defined from this point. Okay, the actual value, if you check the dimension from here, it is a different dimension 97, but now we are defining the value from this origin, or actually we have made this point as a origin. Okay, so again dimension, if I want this height from this point, then select this point, select this height, then you will get this dimension. So this type of dimension is called ordinate type of dimension. Okay, this is not a linear, not a circular, not a radius, not a diameter. This is ordinate type dimension. You can see that after the 44.44 it is called ordinate type, and this value is determined from these two values. Okay, whatever do you want, just enter here. You can have multiple values, you can have multiple shapes. Just select the dimension, select the ordinate type, and select the point. Where do you want to place it? Okay, and again select the origin, select the point. Okay, like this you can draw out of that. Next, I want to define the height. So dimension, I want from horizontal, I want it here. So in this way you can create. Okay, so I was not able to create this dimension because this line is on the center, it's on the midpoint of this line, so I have to delete the midpoint. Now I can create a dimension from here to here. Okay, from here to here. Okay, okay, so we have to make the constant. So any queries related parameter and baseline dimension? Any question related this? I will show you an example why we are using this type of dimension. So we have a drawing here. Okay. Now if you want to specify this type of dimension, you can simply specify, but I don't have a second file. Just ask your question. If you have any question, please ask. Okay. This is the example. Okay, so we have a ordinate type dimension here. You can see this is the base 0 0 0, this is 20. So all the dimension are derived from this point. So 20 is this gap, 60 is overall gap, 120 is this overall gap. So you can specify this type of dimension. Okay, so these are the commands for today's session. Last, there is another option that is called overlap command, overlap geometry. It is again in inspect. So overlap geometry work to find an overlap between the objects. So we have two lines. If you are not able to see, like I have closed the hidden lines, but I want to check the overlapping in my object. So there is an option called overlap. So you can see there are overlaps in multiple lines. First, it is in this line because I have created a rectangle and there is this line and this line. So there is an overlap. Now second, I have this line and there is another line between that, behind that, and again here are two lines also. So there are overlaps in these two options. So you can select like this. So the green line is selected, I can select delete, like this delete, and like this delete. So now you can check the overlap. Still there is an overlap between. Overlap is because this is coincident here and this is crossing, so we have to delete. Okay, so you can check there is no overlap now. Okay, there is no params. So overlap geometry is to determine the overlapping entities in the sketch that can cause the problems regarding the file. Okay, any other question? You want to ask anything? Okay, so after completing the sketch, if you want to edit the sketch, simply we have the options like double click on that or select the sketch. There is an option select edit dimension or edit sketch. You can edit the dimension from outside like this, or you can go to, you can just right click here and go to edit sketch. Okay, edit definition, sorry. So you can always change the definition right here. Clear? So if you want to orientate the sketch like this sketch, I want to see the sketch rotated in 90-degree clockwise. So how can we do that? I want this entity to be shown like right here with rotated 90-degree. So there is an option called sketch setup up here. Just click on that. There is a placement. So you can see that placement that we have covered in very beginning of this session. So there is an option called orientation. Right now it is on right. If I change it to left, so sketch will be oriented to 180-degree. If I change it to top, the sketch will be here. If I change it to bottom, the sketch will be here. So you can always orientate it from this option. Okay, I want this here. So go to sketch, go to orientation, go to bottom. So you can see now I can work like this. So this is the options, complete. You can always make the drawings like this way. So that's it in the session. If you have any question, please ask. After that, I will share the assignment.
Sir, today we're giving an assignment.
Yeah, you are getting an assignment today. So
If there will be, sir, if there will be overlapping in geometry, so what types of problem we can face, sir?
overlapping geometry again will have issues like if I make a object, okay, if I create extrude, then you can say it is converted into surface. It will not convert into solid. Okay. If we don't have any overlapping geometry, if I delete the overlapping geometry, okay, and if I select, then you can see it is converted into 3D, so you can complete it. But if you have any overlapping geometry, then it will have some problems. It will not be created into 3D. It will be converted into surface, but not in solid model. Okay, this is solid model. Uh, this is surface model. Okay, there is difference in both. We are working on solid, so we need to have a closed loop like this.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so today's assignment I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is the assignment. Please read the first page. Okay, so first there are some instructions. Kindly create, save and email your assignment on this email ID. Okay, email ID is given here. You have to save your files and mail that file to us. Okay, second, your subject should be mentioned like this. Okay, your name, your college, your roll number that has been allotted to you, and your assignment number. Clear? Next, your assignment should be submitted before midnight of tomorrow. Okay, before midnight tomorrow. And the questions will be here. First, there are some notes. Create a folder. Okay, you have to create a folder and you have to select that folder as your working directory. Here, I have shown you how to select your working directories. So you have to create a folder and you have to create that as a working directory. After that, you have to save all the files in your working directory. Then, regarding drawings, all the dimensions are in millimeters. So your template should be in mmms part solid, and you have to create a fully defined sketches on this drawing, and there should be no weak dimension. Okay, these are the drawings. You have to create them like I have created. Okay,
Okay, sir. But assignment that to submit before tomorrow 12 o'clock, sir.
tomorrow midnight. Okay, midnight 12.
Yes, sir. Midnight
Midnight 12.
before
Yeah,
12 o'clock.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. So
Thank you.
next, how to save your file? Okay, if you have created a sketch, how can you save your files? So go to file, save, and create a name. Okay, if you have not created a name, you have to define a name here. After that, save that in your working directory. Okay, okay, then go to your working directory like I have here. So there is my file, uh, drawing1.prt. Okay, I have saved this file as a drawing1 dot, okay, drawing underscore one. The file format of the SolidWorks Creo are similar. So Creo has a .prt extension and SolidWorks has a .sldprt extension. Okay, so you can see in your folder that there is a file called drawing1.prt. Okay, so you have to mail this file to our on our email ID. Clear? Any question regarding assignment, how to submit your assignment?
Sir.
Okay. So if you face any problem, please ask your question in group. Okay. You are having some trouble creating your assignment, please ask your question in the group. I will help you. Okay. And yes, we
Sir,
will discuss
how
these drawings in next session, first 15 minutes.
hello?
Yes.
Sir, how we will get this assignment by mail or by WhatsApp?
We are going to WhatsApp you this assignment. Okay. You will get within
Okay,
30
okay,
minutes. Okay.
okay.
So that's it for the today's session.
Yes.
We will see you in the next. Okay, wait, do not leave right now. I have to make the attendance. Okay, don't leave right now. I'm going to take the attendance. राहुल आप हमारे दूसरे सेशन में भी हो ना? Okay, you can close now.
Sir.
Can we leave, sir?
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
okay, welcome.